Good morning, everybody. Warren and I are in the kitchen, and he actually is the one who's spearheading this whole thing, but he's making cranberry juice. And I just thought I would show you guys how we make our homemade cranberry juice from starting with frozen cranberries. So this contraption here is called a steamer juicer, and it's actually 4 pieces. The base here is where there's water. This middle piece actually has has like a cone, and this is what collects the juice. Top piece here is a strainer. It has little holes in the bottom. I'll show you that at some point here, I guess. He already got everything going, so before I could get here. And then there's a cover. So in the top part here in the strainer, which I guess we can call the fruit basket, he put in 2 gallon-size Ziploc bags of frozen fruit, frozen cranberries. It was probably about 7 pounds or so. And then in the middle one, that is just where the juice is going to be dripping down into. And then the bottom it's about 2/3 to 3/4 filled with water. So the idea is that the water here boils. It boils up through the cone. It steams the fruit, and as the fruit starts to steam, the juice drips
through the bottom holes in the fruit basket.
Right. So as the fruit cooks and gets all mushy, the juice drips out into this, and then when it starts to show in here after, how long did you have to boil this for?
Well, once you get steam coming out of the top lid, you have to boil it for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then you can start drawing the juice off. And then when you draw the juice off, the first quart has to go back into the top because the first quart has the most sugar and pectin in it. And
natural sugars. We didn't add anything to this.
No
this is
sugar
just
put in. It's just the natural
straight
fruit sugar and the pectin. And what happens is if you don't return that first quart will actually turn into more or less
like a
cranberry
syrup
sauce because it's
kind
so
of
thick. So you put it back in to kind of even things out, and then
that also sterilizes this tube as well.
Right. Everything's been washed. Everything's been washed before I even started.
Right.
Hot soapy
but
water.
It's supposed to sterilize that tube.
Yes.
That's one of the other reasons why you put the first jar back. So he's just starting to collect it. So about 40 minutes. I think the max you're supposed to steam this for is like 70. Is that right?
Yes. In fact, I should set my timer right
Sometimes if you steam the fruit too long, you start to actually get more pectin through and everything, and then your juice can get a little bit, it can tend to kind of gel up a little bit.
I'm going to set the timer right now.
Really isn't the biggest deal, because if you are, like, we're going to can this. Once the juice starts to come out of the tube, then Warren just squeezes this little, he'll do it right now. So he just squeezes that little clamp, and the juice drips out. And this is just 100% pure cranberry juice, and it can be drank as is. It's pretty puckery though.
After it cools, yeah. I like it this way.
Warren will drink this in the morning, just like a small glass, like maybe 3 or 4 ounces or something like that, maybe a half a cup. He'll just kind of drink this straight, and it is puckery. But it also can be canned, and then you can actually dilute it a little bit more and add sugar to it and make like a cranberry juice if you want. And there again, we've just kind of messed around with it, I guess, adding different amounts of sugar, just kind of whatever, you know. Obviously the kids probably like it a little bit sweeter.
What I found is if you take 1 quart jar of straight cranberry juice and add another quart of water, and then 3/4 cup sugar, that makes it good. You get a 50% cranberry juice, and it's sweetened just enough where it's not quite so puckery.
Right, right.
But I prefer it just straight. I like it just straight, no sugar.
Yeah, you really do get the best health benefits if it's just straight like this. Obviously, you might drink a little more of it, though, if it's sweetened. If that kind of sweetens it up a little bit, sometimes you'll drink a little more. But
it's like whiskey without the alcohol.
That's one way to explain it.
That's kind of how it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you like a shot of whiskey without alcohol in it.
Right. So he's got some jars over here that he's washing. He's got the lids just kind of in some hot water back there. He's got his little spot set up here. I don't know, is that where we're going to jar it up?
Yeah, after they're filled.
Okay.
And then we have to get the water bath canner ready.
Yep.
And we have to get the dehydrator because all the skins get made into fruit strips.
Right. Are we just doing one batch, or we can do 2 batches?
At least a couple. If you're going to get everything out, you might as well make a couple batches.
Yep, that's true. All right. How are you doing this morning, Maria?
Good.
Good. What's with your pretty necklace?
Nothing.
Did you make that necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really pretty. Peter wants to show us something too. This was a project he found on artprojectsforkids.org. You added glitter glue to it now? That's pretty. That's a pretty cardinal.
Yeah.
How about you, Sam? What do you have going today?
Nothing.
Just looking at the calendar.
And I don't like anything sour except
And you, Amber, can I film you today?
Yes, I don't really like how my hair looks today, but that's fine.
Your hair is adorable. What's going on with you today?
Nothing much, just school and...
I was going to say, you know, it is a Monday. I would hope that you guys would say, I have just a full day of school ahead of me.
Yep.
I got way too much school.
Amber's going to put together some kind of breakfast.
Right there?
A little teeny bit more.
Do you even need that avocado dip?
Yep, that's
on
perfect. Yes, there was avocado dip. It's in a container someplace.
I see.
Yes,
what color I'm going to use for the bird's tail.
that's a good piece for the bird's tail, yes. So he's just going to put that kind of like fingertip tight, and then we'll set those off to the side, get the water bath canner going, which I think is my job, right?
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so I better put the camera down and get that going.
All right, she's bringing up the water bath canner.
Something smells like it's burning.
That is Amber's breakfast. Well, describe what you're doing here. Come on.
So I'm just putting water in the canner here. I'm going to fill it up probably about 2/3 of the way full, because I want the water to be about 1 inch over the top of the jars when the jars are lowered into the canner. All right, Warren's going to lift this up to see if we have enough water left in here, and we need a little bit more, so we're just going to add some more hot water so we can get a good, you know, we don't want that to boil dry, that's for sure. It's happened once and never again. All right, so we'll just kind of keep letting this cook or steam away. The timer says we have 15 minutes left. What is what? That must be paper to use. Let me see. That must just be extra pieces of paper to use. Things are moving along, but I thought I would just give you guys a little look at the different components of the steamer juicer. So this is the strainer. That's where they were, and that's like where the steaming action was taking place. You can see there's holes in the bottom so that the juice can drip through, and then it would drip into this pan right here. It has the cone, so what would happen, just a second here, what happens is that the steam from that pan comes up through this little cone, and then as the juice from the fruit drips down, it collects in here. And then there's like this little, I don't know if you call this a siphon or something, but once the juice builds up into that little tube there, then it starts coming out of this tube. So it's a pretty slick thing. And what I like about it is that you don't have to start with water. So you're just making a true, pure cranberry juice or whatever fruit. What, honey?
Where's Peter getting all the fun things?
Peter's getting fun things by rummaging through the closets. Why don't you just play with the thing that he has, okay? Peter, can you show her how to use that? Show her how to make a collage? All right, so this is what the fruit looks like. This is all the steamed fruit. And you can tell we do not want to let this all go to waste. So many things could be done with it. You could actually sweeten this, put it into jars, and use it as a cranberry sauce. That would work actually very well. Warren's actually going to put it into this food processor and just, you know, puree it all so it's a nice smooth mash, and then he's going to dry it. We still haven't decided if we're going to do fruit roll-ups or fruit strips, kind of like a fruit jerky. Not really sure. But anyways, this is kind of what's left over. You can see even when I slide it off to the side, oh, it's steaming so bad. But there is no liquid at the bottom of the bowl. So all of the yummy juice already poured out. And here's what we got from that first batch. We got a quart jar then he decided he wanted to start doing some pint jars. So then we got 1, 2, 3 pints and a quart. So that is from about 7 pounds of fruit. Now he's going to get another batch going here. Are you going to do 3 bags this time?
Well, the last time I could have put more fruit in the top.
All right, so he's going to weigh it up.
About 3.5 pounds.
That's what I thought.
3.5 pounds. I'm guessing 3.5 pounds. Yeah, 3.5 pounds.
All right, so 3.5 pounds for a bag, for a stuffed to the brim gallon-sized bag. And we're gonna see how much can fit in there. I don't know. You think you can put another one in?
Not a whole one.
Okay. So if that's 7 pounds, you're probably gonna get about maybe 8.5 pounds or so total into here.
I'll weigh it when we're done. That looks good.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have.
How much is left in there?
A pound and a quarter.
Okay. So about 9 pounds or so. And then we just let the process happen again. Do we need to add more water down there, do you think?
I already did.
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna let this cook until it starts to steam. You don't start the timer until you actually see steam pouring out from under, you know, in the crack of the lid here. And then,
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
And then after 40 minutes, you can start drawing off the juice. But when you start drawing off the juice, then you set the timer for 30 minutes because you do not want to go past 70. But you really should, at about 60 minutes, you should really check to make sure you're not running out of water.
Right, right. And this last time, we didn't steam it for the whole 70, did we end up?
No, because we got to the point where it was done.
Because nothing else was coming out, so then we just stopped it.
The sun. See, I'm doing the moon and the sun.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
So this is kind of a fun project.
I'm gonna do an easier one than that.
Peter and Maria, they're working on this Eric Carle collage book. It comes with already sort of like patterned tissue paper, and it shows them.
There's all kinds of yellows.
Yeah, there are. And then it shows them how to make these really cool Eric Carle style collages. So Peter made a bird here.
Whoa, look at this color green. Where's my circle?
Oh, that looks like grass, doesn't it?
Where's my circle?
It was just here.
Yeah.
It probably blew underneath. Oh, here it is, Maria. It's right here. It's right here. There you go. He pureed all of the cranberry skins. This bowl was pretty full. And you put in about, how much sugar?
1 cup.
So we put 1 cup of sugar into there, stirred it all around, and then he's going to make some fruit roll-ups. We do this a lot with applesauce or even flavored applesauce. Yes, Joe? You made some pictures. What is that?
Well, I'm green.
It's green?
Yeah.
All different colors, shades of
green.
green. I like it. Thanks. You can use like all the different flavored applesauces too, and you just dry it down until it's kind of just a pliable yet dry kind of a fruit roll-up. And so Warren's doing that with the cranberry pulp here. This is going to take a long time to dry. It's going to be interesting to find out we'll let you guys know how long it actually takes to dry. How long do you think it's going to take?
Well, last time I did it, I made fruit strips, and they were dry in about 6 hours. But it's going to take longer than that.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a long, long time. Because that's pretty thick, too. But, yeah, so that, I mean, that's really it. We have these trays with then, is that already the fourth one?
Third.
Where's the other? So it's over here. So the dehydrator just has these, you know, your basic tray, but then you can purchase these fruit strip trays or fruit trays, whatever they call these, and that way you can spread, you know, things that are more wet on. So we have 4 of those. It would be really nice if we had more, because then we could really, you know, we could really make things happen a lot quicker, but we'll just have to do this in batches.
Work with what we have.
Yeah. Over here is the second batch. The timer is going because I'm not sure if you can see that. Steam is coming from the lid, so we have 30 minutes left on here, so hopefully this is going to start showing some juice pretty soon. Okay, so I am back from taking Joseph to the dentist, and Warren has all of the juice here in these canning jars. So I think he ended up doing 3 batches. It takes a number of pounds of cranberries to get this much juice. I was going to tell you guys what that was called. That was called a Nutri-Steamer. We purchased ours in June of 2010. I'll put a link in the description box below if you're interested in looking more into this. But now it's time to get on with the canning of the juice. I did look back into the directions again, and we were actually wrong on the 10 minutes. It's actually a water bath canner. Whoops, lighting, sorry about that. It's actually a water bath canner for 15 minutes. And so that's what I'm going to do the quarts at. And then I am going to do the pints probably just about 12 minutes. So that's what we have going. Water bath canning is not complicated at all. Just put water into the great big kettle. Bring it to a very, very hot simmer. Then you just put the jars into the canner basket and then just slowly let it down into the water, and then you want the water to be about 1 inch over the top of the lid in order for it to get the best canning seal. So that is what I'll do. It takes a long time to bring this up to a nice hot simmer, so it's going to be a while, but once I put them back into there, it's just about 15 minutes and they're done. And one of the nice things with water bath canning is you don't have to wait for the pressure to release like you do with a pressure canner. So as soon as they're done, just lift them out, set them over here to cool, and then you can just go right on to the next batch right away. So that's what's going to be happening there. Over here is the dehydrator going. Warren has 4 trays on there. I thought this was going to take a long, long time. I'm actually quite surprised at how dry it already is. That's been going for about 4.5 hours or so. You're going to keep cleaning later?
Yeah.
Okay. Go put those out in the laundry basket, not in here.
But I might pick up.
Okay. So this, I think, is going to have at least a couple more hours to go. Oh, it's very, 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 very hot. So I just heard the telltale sign of a jar sealing, that little pop. Absolutely love that. So since Warren mainly followed the directions for making the juice just out of the Back to Basics instruction guide, I'm not going to leave super detailed instructions below, but I will just kind of leave a general instructions down there, and then I'll just leave some real basic instructions for canning as well in case you're interested. But definitely you just have to follow all the manufacturer's guidelines that are in your instruction booklets that come with all of the equipment, and you should be good. So the drying of the fruit strips, or the cranberry leather, I guess, what do you like it being called?
Fruit strips.
Fruit strips. It takes quite a while. like up to 10 hours or something, wouldn't you say? Or was it
Yeah.
even longer?
At least 10 hours.
Yeah, at least 10 hours. But Warren puts them on pretty thick. And so,
Yeah, they go on about a 1/4 inch thick,
yeah.
and when they're done,
Oh yeah, this is, the first batch was good, but I think this batch is better.
the first batch,
Did they not get dried long
they didn't
enough?
get dried long enough.
Okay, so now, yeah, definitely 10 hours or more drying on whatever the fruit setting is on the dehydrator. What do you think, Maria?
Good.
Are they kind of tart? Kind of tart, huh? And a while back, Warren did some testing with the fruit strips to see how long they lasted. And you had some in bags.
They
For a
they
long
went a whole
time.
year without any sign of mold or anything.
Or any kind of spoilage, because we were just trying to see just how long could you actually keep these. I mean, these aren't going to last that long, but he tucked some way up in the back of the pantry, and we checked on them every couple of months or so, just to kind of see how it went. All right, you guys might hear the music. Joe has moved on to the song Free Falling now today. But anyways, that's it for the cranberry juice making and the cranberry fruit strip making. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or I didn't make something clear, definitely check in the description box below, because I'll have more instructions there. And then you can always throw a comment down below and I'll get back to you on that too. So thanks again. Bye, guys.
Okay, we're recording. She just brought up, okay, do that again.